गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। मैं रुबीना आप सबके सामने आज का कॉन्सेप्ट। गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन, आई एम रुबीना हियर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, mastered in CSC computer programming. So I have initiated this procedure of explaining my concepts and making the videos to help my students learn online. Uh, So in today's video, I would like to explain about programming languages and the programming process. So before initiating, I would like to tell you what is a programming language mean. What is a language basically? It is a barrier or it is a mediator to transfer our information from one person to the other person, right? Like we speak daily many languages in our daily life. We speak Hindi, we speak Telugu, we speak English, we speak n number of languages just to make our understanding from one person to the other. Likewise, when we are trying to make something understand to the computer, we must be learning programming language. Okay, the key role of programming language is as important as the English language or the Hindi language or the other language that we speak in our daily life. If suppose you are a programmer, you are a software engineer, so at that time you should also be having good command in understanding the computer concepts, right? So that's why we design the programming languages. Basically, I would like to give you the brief introduction to computer programming language. Let me use my whiteboard over here to make you understand clear what does a programming language mean. Like in our daily life, we use n number of languages. Suppose in English language, we use alphabets A, B, C, D, and so on till Z. Okay, this is a programming language. It has the same, sorry, this is the English language. So coming to the programming language, in programming language, we have various generations. जनरेशन का गैप आया इसमें, जैसे कि in the beginning when the computer came into emergence, जिस तरह से कंप्यूटर इन्वेंट किया गया, उन दिनों में कंप्यूटर की प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज थी वेरी कॉमन लैंग्वेज which is called as a machine language. The computer can understand only the machine language. Machine language is nothing but the binary language, which is nothing but zeros and ones. Do you or me understand this language? क्या आप और मैं ये जीरो और वन की लैंग्वेज समझ पाते? हमारी अगर डेली लाइफ में भी अगर 001110100011 अगर इस तरह की बातचीत हुआ कर सकते थे हम, तो was it easy for us to understand? It's highly impossible, my dear friends. So it is the only language that can be understood by the computer. So computer, the basic language understood by the computer is the machine language. After machine language, then when the programmers were designing the programs using the machine language, no doubt it is a language of the machine, it is a language of the computer. But we human beings, it is difficult for us to understand it. So the programmer slowly developed a new language called as the assembly language. What is the importance? What is the importance of this language is, we make here a language which is a little simpler than the machine language. Example, I'm using and. I know the meaning of and. I use the word called as or. I know the meaning of or. I use the word as sum. I use the word as product, multiplication, division, and so on, that we use in our programming or in division or in mathematics. Okay, this programming language is just developed to make easier few of the mathematical terms, isn't it? Likewise, the computer understands the language of the computer is nothing but zeros and ones. When we human beings are trying to type something in even in the assembly language, like I'm telling my student to perform the sum of the two integers, no doubt I'll write my command as something like sum of A comma B or 2 comma 3. Like this, I will be giving my command. No doubt, it is for my understanding purpose. But internally, the computer will again convert this programming language, this assembly language into machine language with the help of the assembler. Machine language में ये फिर से दोबारा convert किया जाता with the help of a mediator called as assembler. I'll explain everything to you again on the PPT. Just make the clarity of the things over here on the whiteboard. Now, coming to the different generations of the language, let us see the high-level language. So the machine language or the assembly language are also called as a low-level language, whereas after that, we are developing another language which is called as high-level language, right? So these are our low-level languages, the machine language or the assembly language, and the rest of them are the high-level languages. Okay, friends. So I think it is clear to you know what is the difference between a low-level language and a high-level language. I'm trying to make it clear to you. Assembler is the machine or a translator that will be translating the assembly language into the machine. Now, coming to the high level language, what is its importance? Coming to the high level language, the languages that you might have heard about Fortran. These are the old generation languages. We are no more using these. Just for the namesake, I'm using the terms so that you can recollect that these are also few of our languages. Okay, Basic, Pascal, Fortran, then B language was there, then C language came into existence, then C++ came, then Java came, then .NET, and n number of languages have been emerged. N number of various languages have been emerged. These are the high level languages, and this will be coming under the third generation of languages. Okay, third generation. I'll explain you again the PPT. Right. Now, coming to the fourth generation language, these are our third generation languages. Okay. Coming to the fourth generation language, so here we make use of the Visual Basics or Visual Studio. Okay, Visual Basics, Visual Studio .NET, and many other languages. So the ActiveX controls, everything has come over here in the fourth generation languages. And the fifth generation, the place where we are right now, we are in the generation of the fifth generation, which is nothing but artificial intelligence. We are in the generation of artificial intelligence, right? So these are the basic generation of languages. The first generation of language is also called as a machine language, which is nothing but the zeros and the ones category. And the second generation of language is called as assembly language. Okay, and the third generation we know the basic Pascal, Fortran, B language, C language, C++, Java, .NET, and so on. Fourth generation language, Visual Basics, Visual Studio. Then we have ActiveX controls, rest of the other things. And we are now currently in the artificial intelligence era, where you see the bikes are automated, the cars are automated. Today, you see the cars driven without the help of the driver. We are making use of the sensors. That is the power of artificial intelligence. Today, you see the robots, isn't it? This is the era of robots. Today, we are functioning based upon robots without the help of the manpower. Manpower को use किए बगैर आज robots का power use किया जा रहा. Okay, this is a generation of actually the artificial intelligence, friends. So let us go back to the slide and understand the concept. Yeah, so I was discussing you about the programming language. Now let us see. So in this slide, in this today's video, you will be getting to know about the evolution, how it came into existence, the various programming languages, and what is called a system development life cycle. Hope it will be clear to you now once you have gone through the basics. Evolution. What is a necessity and need for the development of this programming language? Yes, we humans speak various languages just to make understand our thinking and thought process. Even when we are writing some certain command on the Google, certain command on the machine, okay, how does it understand us? It doesn't understand our English language. Today, if I'm going to type on the Google as computer programming languages, it is my terminology, it is for my understanding purpose, but the Google will internally convert everything again into machine language that is nothing but zeros and the ones. And there, the emergence of the machine language came into existence. Machine language is nothing but the zeros and the one category, as I have told you already. Each and every alphabet that we use, each and every key of the computer keyboard that we use, every key has some special meaning in the machine language. Even if it is a symbol called as plus, even if it is a symbol called as minus, every symbol, every number, digit, alphabet has some particular meaning for it in the machine language. Based upon that, the computer will help us by giving the responsible answers. So this is called as a first generation language. It is a most basic type of the computer language which will be basically used for the understanding of the computer hardware. Like it was the first language that was developed and was used on different computers of IBM, Apple, okay, MacBook, and so on. Now, after the emergence of machine language, people got it very difficult to understand the machine language as me. We are the humans. We cannot remember the zeros and ones terminology. If suppose I have to tell you good morning, that good morning will be converted again into the zeros and the ones. GOOD, good. It has some machine coding conversion into its own in the machine language. We humans cannot do so. It was very difficult. Then humans has developed a little easier language than the machine language. So they have used the methodology of phrasing the English words, like previously I gave the example of performing the sum, performing the multiplication, performing the division. All these kinds of performances or the mathematical calculations can be developed by using the assembly language just by giving the command, as we have seen here. As we have seen that we were using the commands, yes or no? Yeah, in this line you might be seeing sum of a comma b when I'm writing, and it has some logical meaning or it has some logical meaning. So whatever we humans are typing onto the computer to write an assembly language code, then that assembler, it is a barrier, it is a converter that will be converting our human code into the machine code. Again, the sum will be converted into machine code by making use of the zeros and the ones, right? So this is the importance of the assembly language. Now coming back to the third generation language, uh, so you need to remember that assembler is a translator used for converting the assembly language into the object code. You see the diagrammatic representation of the assembly code. So the upper part of the code is being written into the assembly code, where you can see some phrases like CLR is there, MOV is there, INT is there. So this hints we are using for making us remember certain commands. Okay, and we remember those commands, but computer never ever understand our language, my dear friends. It needs only one language, and it is called as the object code. Our computer understands only this kind of zeros and the ones. So I try to get the concept of the understanding power of the computer machine. No doubt, we humans only have developed the computer language. Okay, but this kind of implementation is not for us, my dear friends. It is only for the machine. So here we are making use of the uh, assembler for converting our code into the object code, and this will be the code which will be understood by the computer. Whatever we are writing here in the assembly code, that now will be easily able to understood by the computer. That was a second generation language. Now a little progress has been taken by the programmers. They have developed the new language and they have named this language as a high level language. Okay, basically in the high level language we have the three generations: third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. Okay, previously, now even assembly language was looking little more burden to the programmers. They looked forward for more easier formats, and they have understood the terminology of English language. They included English terminology into our higher generation languages, that is the third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation languages. Right? So, if I tell you about the third generation language, as I told you previously, okay, we will be using it mostly in this list of languages like Fortran, COBOL, BASIC, Pascal. So these are the few languages that were used for business purposes. And later on, we are no more using all those languages. We have emerged now into the era of C programming, C++ programming, Java, and ActiveX controls. Okay, so these are very very user friendly. We human beings can easily understand it once we get to know what is the importance of developing the programming language, right? So here also again, as the assembler were used for converting the assembly language into machine language, here also we require a translator to convert our programming code into the machine code. No doubt we are using again a translator, but these third generation languages are very easily understood, easier to transfer from one place to the other, that is portable, easier for coding, understanding, and so on. Very flexible in nature. We have a high security into it. The next generation is a fourth generation language. As you know that we are entering into the advancement of the computing. So rather than using the textual based environment, now programmers would like to invent the visual technology by using certain graphical tools which will be very colorful and which will be very user friendly, which user would like to attract it more easily. Okay, so now we are stepping towards the fourth generation language rather than using the programming coding, boring coding of the textual based. Now we have entered into the visual basics where textual formats will be converted into visual basics. You can see the graphical tools application used into it once we are moving into the coming few videos. Okay, and finally the fifth generation languages, we are into the era of the artificial intelligence, where we are trying to understand the importance of this fifth generation language. No doubt the community, the programmers cannot understand its existence. Okay, they thought that it would be a very huge task to invent this kind of programming languages, but no doubt today we are making use of them. The artificial intelligence power, uh, the movement of machines today we are seeing, without the help of the manpower we are able to move the machine from one place to the other. Example, drones. drone cameras we are having, drone machines we are having to transfer the goods from one place to the other. Not only the drones, the cars, automated cars with the help of the sensors, the automated doors, the automated locking system, everything that we use in today's generation, it's nothing but artificial intelligence. So these are our generations of languages or the programming languages that we have seen. Now let us see why is it so important for us to learn the programming. Okay, what is the impact and how is the process going to take place? Like for example, I'll take an example. Suppose you have to construct a building. For constructing a building, you first gather the information, like you will go and select an area where you want to construct the building. Then you know that this much of amount of expenses would be there, estimated cost you would be measuring. Then after that, you would be understanding that v- designing means how my building should be looking like, where should be the hall, where should be the kitchen room, where should be the balcony, and etc etc, right? After the design analysis and designing, you will be looking into which engineerify effort, my house will be looking more beautiful. Okay, it would be constructed within some amount of time very easily, with less amount of time and money investment. Then, once you have planned and designed everything, the next step you would be taking is the implementation phase. You would start constructing your building, and by keeping all the things into your mind, once the building has been constructed, you will be maintaining the building. Right, friends? Right, my dear students? So, here SDLC, the System Development Life Cycle, what we use for the information system, it is the same will be used for the programming language as well. Okay, so the first phase over here is analysis, requirement analysis. We need to analyze the requirements that are there. Then the second phase that we need is program designing, how my building should be looking. Okay, we will be sitting and designing it not only one time but n number of times until we get the complete clarity. The third phase is the development phase, where we whatever the planning and the requirement has been analyzed, that will be now that will be kept now under the modulation technique. Yes, where we start constructing, where we start developing the building, constructing the building. Once we are getting the when once we are under the phase of the construction or the development, we would be using the techniques, we would be implementing the plans that we have designed in the phase 2. Then the implementation comes into picture. Okay, and finally, after all the 4 phases have been completed properly, correctly, without any errors and without any mistakes, finally we would be under the phase of maintenance. Once the building is ready, you would be maintaining your building without any loss, right? So this is the system development life cycle. Hope you have understood today's class, today's video. Let us see the review of whatever we have studied in today's class. Identify the 3 main categories of the programming languages. Yes, we know that the first language was a machine language, second language was a assembly language, and the third language was the high level language. No doubt the machine language and the high level language comes under the category of the low level language or low level programming, and the high level language, the third, fourth, and fifth generation languages comes under the high level languages. Describe the 5 generations of the computer programming. We know first generation machine language, second generation assembly language, third generation C, C++, Java, .NET, fourth generation Visual Basics techniques, and the fifth generation we know that it is the artificial intelligence. Name at least 5 major programming languages. I think you can do this as an assignment. List of, there are n number of programming languages today for you to list out. You can do so. Describe a visual programming environment and how it is used. Yeah, visual programming rather than the textual based programming. Here you can make use of the graphical tools where you can convert your text into the graphics very easily, very user friendly, very effective. And the last but not the least, list the 5 phases of the software development life cycle. Yeah, it's very important to understand this concept to develop any of the programming concept or the software engineering or information system process. The first one is the requirement analysis phase. Second one is the uh, second phase is the program designing. We will be designing. Third phase is the development phase. Fourth phase is the implementation phase, and fifth phase is the maintenance. Okay, you can remember it in your own language as well. Like, first we need to gather all the information and collect the required analysis. Second, we need to design how it should be. Third, we would be starting development by using the various softwares and various machines, whatever are required for it. Fourth, we would be implementing that into work. Whatever has been planned so far will be now implemented. And the fifth is nothing but we will be making use of the maintenance of whatever the outcome of the product has been designed. Thank you so much for today's video. Hope you have understood the generations of languages and the SDLC life cycle. Stay connected, stay tuned to more videos to understand the programming language more clearly. If you like the video, click on the like button, share it, and write the comments what you want to learn more in the future videos. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.